In the last video, we confirmed that this engine isn't completely destroyed, and I asked you guys if you thought it was worthwhile to take it apart and replace the case. You said to do it, and I feel the same way. Things don't usually come here to die. That's just the natural fabric of the universe. So we're going to go for it. First thing to do is remove the motor from the cycle. This is pretty straightforward. I just need to get some things out of the way, drain the coolant, and the oil. Hopefully this is not an aluminum stew. Looks reasonably metal-free.
I see chunks.
Ooh.
Flaky bits.
I see that too.
I'm concerned.
You think we'll find some carnage in here?
I do.
I'm just about ready to pull the engine, except that this wire is still attached. Rather than fish it down through here, I'll just remove the left side cover, the flywheel, and the generator.
So what are you gonna do if it is carnage in there?
We'll take it step by step. I don't know.
You're gonna have to hit it more than that. Do you need a rubber mallet?
Good choice.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Ooh, all hope is not lost. It's clean in there.
No chunkage.
Very nice. I need my...
You need that thing that you always need at this point. The thing that you don't have. I don't know what it's called, but people are gonna say that's the thing that you need.
Brain.
No, that's not the thing. Impact.
Impact.
Impact thing. You need the impact thing.
I've got this strap wrench. Do you realize you just successfully identified two proper tools for the job?
I guess I'm learning a thing.
Rubber mallet and impact.
Two things. You gonna have a pull?
Going to try to have a pull. This is the third time I've tried to have a pull.
You're gonna get it this time.
No, things are just bending. Happy tap. That was a little bit tight. And this is a roller coaster of emotions. I was excited because that was clean after seeing the shiny in the oil pan. And now I'm back to feeling a little bit skeptical about whether or not this engine ate the piece of metal that's missing out of the case.
I feel bad for it. Poor old girl.
Only one way to find out what's really going on. Time to take out the motor. At this point, I wonder if I will ever put this back in the motorcycle.
Me too.
Well, I'm not going to skip ahead to see what happens. So there it is. Cyclists, propel us. I have some concerns with this engine. There's a hole in the case that somebody tried to fix. Here's what it's supposed to look like. I don't know what happened to the piece that goes right here, but I noticed when I was editing the last video, this engine sounds very crunchy, especially right when it turns off. Listen to this. I don't know what makes that noise, but it's a bad noise, and it could be related to aluminum ingestion. I also felt like this had lower compression than it should, which is usually because the top end is worn out, but there's a chance someone installed a decompression camshaft, which would make the engine have low compression just until it gets running. It's to make starting easier, which the previous owners did have some trouble with. Let's take it apart.
Care to make it interesting?
How so?
Do you think that the things in there, the thing you were talking about, I wasn't listening.
I think that it has the factory camshafts in here and the motor's just toast.
Oh yes, factory, yes. I think it also has the factory things in there.
What things?
The camshaft, the things, toast. It's got the factory toast in it.
Let's see. I'm paying attention to the exhaust side. Anybody that knows about engines knows that that is an automatic decompression camshaft. Definitive proof that the engine might not be smoked.
All right.
Onward! Something else that the auto decompression cam tells me is that whoever owned this motorcycle, even though they couldn't start it, cared about it. They spent some money on this machine between the aftermarket ignition, the aftermarket handlebars, the decompression camshaft, multiple kickstart levers. They wanted it to be nice, so they probably didn't abuse it. See how that works? When this lever goes out, the little ball goes in. Somebody cared about this motorcycle at one time until they got completely fed up with it and probably broke their ankle. Then they gave up. There's a lot of pressure on these head bolts, so I want to loosen them up little by little, evenly. Almost there. They're getting loose. I'm curious and worried about what I'm going to find under here. Piston is still up. Let's give it a turn.
That looks pretty good.
I don't see anything yet. Let's take it into the light. Whoa. I can see the crosshatch marks, and I don't see any cylinder scoring.
That's a beautiful piston.
I can't believe I got this lucky. But we still haven't looked at the crankshaft yet. Let's take off the cylinder now. First glimpse of the piston. I really can't believe how good that looks. Not much carbon on the top. I don't feel any play at all in the crankshaft. This is a good motor, aside from the obvious damage. Somebody did a number right here. I don't know why that's even kicked out like that. I don't see anything terminal.
What?
Whoa! This is bad. This Kickstarter gear should be a circle.
Oh my goodness!
Where's the rest?
Where is the rest?
I hope it's not floating around somewhere in, oh, here.
Did you find it?
Wait. That's a piece of the gear. Every moment this engine was running could have been its last. If this would have gotten in the cylinder,
Toast.
sudden death. So my best guess about what happened is that the gear broke, and then when somebody tried to kickstart it again, the gear wedged between this shaft, or the remainder of the gear, and the engine case, and it blew out this little chunk. I don't know how much of the gear, if any, went out, or how much is still floating around in here, but we'll keep taking it apart and find out. Even though I've got a few tricks for it, it's difficult to loosen a nut on something that spins. But not impossible.
So the goal of this video was to split the case.
I want to get everything apart and see what the damage is.
Okay.
Remind me where all these parts go.
I'll refer you to the video.
And I think this should all come off. Yeah. You getting all this?
I'm working on it.
Clutch. So one thing I should pay attention to is whether or not any of the teeth on these gears are chipped from getting stray teeth wedged between them. And so far, everything looks good. Careful. I call these crack rings because if there's a dark crack and you're trying to remove them,
That's where they'll go?
yep, we're getting close. Just need to take off a few more parts and see what it looks like in here. I think it will be okay because it ran, and despite the screeching halt, it didn't sound terrible. I still don't know where that noise came from. There's only a few case bolts standing between us and destiny. Can you face destiny?
Oh yeah.
Time to see.
I'm feeling mighty curious.
Okay, and this is the bottom of the motor we're about to see. Oh my. Good thing that filter is there.
Yuck.
There's debris down here. Let's see what it looks like down where the crankshaft is. Not bad, really. I don't see any pieces here. But where's the rest of the gear? Even that doesn't even amount to one tooth. A mystery.
We're missing quite a few. Did you count how many?
Once a man loses enough teeth, if you have any dignity, you stop counting.
Okay.
Remember that.
Okay.
So here's the rundown. This is the good side of the engine. It still has the crankshaft installed and the bearings feel smooth. And this is the bad one. I looked all over in here for pieces of metal and this is all I could find. So somebody must have gotten in there and removed the majority of the gear. Since the transmission has been commingling with shrapnel, I'll just reuse the one from the replacement case, even though this engine has gone through another type of torture. I'm not sure how a blown up crank pin affects a main bearing, so maybe I'll replace this, or maybe I'll run it. But the big question is, for the next video, should we continue working on the WR250, or should we start making Camera Girls motorcycles street legal? Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.